Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Sid.
I'm Tay.
And today we're gonna be watching I Want You Back by Be First. Yippee!
And I wanted to let you guys know that I did get my hands on the best album. I got the Blu-ray version. So when I get a Blu-ray player, me and Sid get to rewatch our show whenever we want, which is crazy,
Yeah.
but very exciting.
Even just watching Grit on the YouTube channel, like, kind of makes me freak out.
Yeah, when
Like, I
that
can't watch it
dropped,
too much because I'm like, hey, I was there.
when that dropped, we were talking about it in the server, and one of the girls in the server was like, oh, I think this is a Europe date. And I was like, I looked at the video and I zoomed in on like this, like a side shot, and I was like, no, that's the pattern that was in my.
No, that's New York. Yeah, that's the walls of the New York
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah, I was like, this is New York, this is crazy.
Yeah, man. And then we had people in our comments and also on other social media telling us that they got the DVD and that they watched it and that they saw us. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
That should be real.
Yeah. I'm nervous and excited. I'm more excited than I am nervous, but I am nervous to like see ourselves in the DVD, because I'm like, what if we look
I'm nervous
crazy?
that it's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm excited for is to see what the angle of that Sota interaction was. Everything else, like if I hear myself and my like guttural screaming, I'm going to turn so red that like I can't keep watching.
So this song was super exciting when it was announced. I was shocked a little bit that this was going to be like the title, like the lead that they went with for the album, because it was a cover and not an original by Be First. But listening to the song, I think they did a great job of making it their own. Like it's very much what I think covers should be. Like when somebody is covering a song, unless it's Shota doing a self cover, obviously.
Well, yes.
But if you're covering another artist's songs, I feel like the best way to do it is try to change it and make it your own, so that it's not just a one-to-one, which you can do that. Some people have different voices, and so you can just do a one-to-one and it still sounds different enough because your voice is different from the original artist. But I think it's more fun and it's more artistic to change it a little bit and make it your own. And I think they did a great job.
I think especially like adding in the rap parts like in Japanese really sets it apart, obviously, from the original, but it also adds like a lot of extra flavor.
Yeah. Without, dragging this out for any longer, let's jump into the music video. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey, old fuck. They're so cute.
Oh, cute.
Wait, was that 113 November 3rd? Isn't that their debut date?
I think so.
I'm a fan. I also already love this song, so that helps. Hey, bring it back choreography. The duck is so funny.
Yeah, it's really good.
They're so good. This little tiny set is so cute. Okay.
Yeah, eras. What?
I guess it makes sense then for it to come out for the best album.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Okay. Oh my.
That was really good.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, that's so
They're
cute.
watching themselves on TV. Okay, Toy Story. Oh my god. That's so precious. Nopo choreography, I saw that.
Of course. Oh, I love them.
Wowie.
That was really good.
Yeah, really good. What's the end of the video? Is there some secrets in the end?
Maybe. No, it looks like just be me.
Oh, nope,
Yeah.
just logos. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure we don't miss secrets because people would yell at us for that.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I didn't know, like, so when they were talking about the music video on the server, I obviously like scrolled past really quickly when what they were talking about because I was like, no spoilers.
Same.
But I didn't even realize that they brought the old, like the previous releases outfits back for that like part.
Yeah,
That was
I didn't know
really
either.
cool.
I knew they had, some choreo because I watched the lives, but and obviously in the lyrics, but I didn't know that they had the old era outfits. That was cool.
Yeah.
That makes me more I know how we just talked about oh, it was kind of weird that this was the title track for the best album, but the fact that they're putting that kind of stuff in the music video, I guess then ties it all together and I'm chill with it.
Yeah, they did a good job of tying it into like it being the title track of their best of album. I know that there were references to other releases, but there was some like really heavy like references to Boom Boom Back lyrically, choreography, but also like that when their little mini like action figures were dancing in like the town setting, I was like, that kind of reminds me of Boom Boom Back too.
Yeah, agree. I think Boom Boom Back is like Beaver's lifeblood at this point.
It's a good one.
Honestly, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's one of my favorites of all time. So it's one of the ones that made me stan in the first place.
I think I watched that music video after we did our video on it for like 3 months every night.
Yeah, it's so good. It's cute. It's fun. This one actually reminds, obviously it's a different vibe entirely, but like the amount of fun they're having and like the different set changes and stuff like that, it reminds me because most of our music videos lately have either been like super dramatic for ballad type songs or they've been like dark and like hard hitting because we're doing like hip hop choreography and stuff like that. So I liked that this was back to like having some fun.
I love seeing them have fun. I've only seen clips of the lives of them like performing the song live, but they just look like they're having a blast and it just makes me so happy. I love seeing people happy and I love seeing Be First happy. So a double.
The absolute smiles, huge smiles plastered on all their faces when they're singing the song, bless you.
Thank you.
is so cute and wholesome and fun, and I love it.
Oh.
They look like they're really enjoying themselves.
And I know that this song was very like important to them, to a lot of them personally. A lot of them like grew up listening to Jackson 5. You and I probably also grew up on
Yep.
Jackson 5. And
Yep.
Michael Jackson, but of course,
Of course.
King of Pop.
Well, yeah. Inescapable, really. For a good reason.
Um, but yeah, I mean, as soon as I heard that they were like they were gonna cover this song, or they were releasing a cover of this song, I went and listened to the original, and I was like, this is gonna be fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be so good.
I did too. I did too. Well, because like literally I haven't listened to the song in so long.
Yeah.
I did it in choir in high school. And so it's like the most that I remember of that song is like singing it in high school. So I had to go back and like listen to it, refresh my brain. And then the Be First version came out and I was like, this is so good.
I have a thing about older music, like music that my parents grew up on and stuff, and like even older sometimes, and like
Mm-hmm.
especially when I was younger. Still sometimes, now as an adult, but especially when I was younger, I used to like daydream about like falling in love and stuff like that, and so I would always do that to older songs because for some reason that
Mm-hmm.
just puts me in that kind of mood when I listen to older songs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and this was one of them. Like I Want You Back was one of them because obviously it's a love song. um
Well, of course.
so it just puts me in this kind of like rose tinted glasses kind of mentality when I listen to the song, and then
Yeah.
like hearing my current favorite group of all time cover that song, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. I get the exact same feeling with "Can't Fight This Feeling" by REO Speedwagon.
you
But
were just listening.
anyway, yeah, you can tell because I was just listening to that song, and I still do. It's very fun to sing. So, hey, Beefers, cover REO Speedwagon. Just kidding. Don't do that. You don't have to do that.
I wouldn't be mad at more covers though, especially
Yeah.
like ones that they can have fun with like this.
Hmm.
um
Oh, I must say too, a lot of them really worked on their English pronunciation.
I was
Like it's
gonna say
quite
that
good.
too.
There's like obviously there's a couple things, but like when you speak a different language, it's always going to be hard. So like
Especially
I
with
can
the
tell that I can tell that they've made progress from before. I don't expect perfect English. I never will. But like man, it's just it's good. They've done a really good job.
I was gonna say God, I was gonna say especially with Japanese, because like some of the letters that we use in English, they don't use them, so it's like
Yeah, the mouth
the
shapes are
mouth
just
sounds are
completely
just
different.
like wildly different.
It's why we have trouble pronouncing some of their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like why
um
I still can't really pronounce Ryuhei that well.
I can't
And I
either.
never I might never, but that's okay. I try my best.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying, but I know that
Well, of course.
I'm not pronouncing their names correctly all the time. um
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to say about their English. I noticed a difference too, especially in Ryuhei. He
Yeah, I
sounds
was
the
going to say
closest to a native speaker when
one of
he
his
sings.
lines at the end, I was literally like, "Whoa. Who is that?" Well, because it wasn't just like, some phrases are easier than other phrases, and it was like it was one that had a couple words in there. We'll catch it on the rewatch, but like there was a couple words in there that he banged out perfectly, and I was like, "Who's that? You from the States or what?" No, he's
Um
from London, of course.
I did want to say also, this was something that was talked about on Twitter a while ago, and also kind of hinting at a big project we're gonna tackle. Um, as international fans, the pronunciation is not as big of a deal to us as fans. It's cool to see them nailing it and like learning and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's not going to stop us from listening to their music, and it's not going to stop us from being fans, cuz like it is important, especially with like when you're just talking about languages in general, to pronounce things correctly, but it's hard, especially
Yeah,
when they've got
there's a lot of grace given.
yeah, especially because they aren't like it's not heavily to do with their job. Like I know some of the
Mhm.
words, and like there's English phrases in all of their songs pretty much, but it's not their job to speak English perfectly.
No.
That's just not.
And we like them because they're Japanese, not because they can speak English well. You know what I mean? Like, we like them and they're Japanese. It doesn't matter to us necessarily. It's certain stuff like grammar is kind of different, but like specifically pronunciation is like totally
Yeah.
not an issue. At least for us and the people that we roll with.
Yeah. It's just, it's not on the list of things that we would like to see from BFirst and BMSG in general. Pronouncing English is kind of lower on the list. There are other things that we're more concerned about as international fans that we would like to see from the company that doesn't have anything to do with pronunciation of English.
Exactly.
But it is cool. And I'm glad that
Yeah.
they're seeming to kind of like get more into English speaking and stuff like that. I think learning languages when you're in your like 20s and 30s and stuff like that is super difficult and very cool that they're trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to see it. This is so just like a complete shot in the dark random thing to say. We said this when we did our first Christmas review.
Mm-hmm.
The set looks like the house that my grandma used to live in. And I'm might be crazy, but it could even be the same set. Like I remember that chair with the it has like a blanket on the back. Yeah, a chevron like blanket on the back. I think on our like middle, I want to just go back to First Christmas and see what that set looked like because they look so similar in my mind's eye, but they could be completely different.
Do you see? Do you
Probably
can have you have you clocked why I wanted to pause and write something?
is it all the trophies and like the awards and also like the master plan in the back and like the other are these all awards that they've gotten?
I don't know if it's
I'm not sure,
awards that
but
they've gotten because a lot of them are like wooden bases, and that's very much
I know
like
they look like old
90s.
sports trophies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's giving 90s, but I think it's meant to represent.
Accolades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wanted to go back to First Christmas here.
Yeah, I do. Just for a quick peek. Because it's
Peak.
probably completely
Sorry.
different. Peak.
Peak.
But like it's similar enough that it fired my neurons in my brain.
Oh yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different. But look at that fucking chair. I mean that window with those curtains. Hold on.
Wait, it might be.
Go back.
It's no.
Go
Look,
back.
you can see it here. You can see it here. So the window and
Yeah,
the curtain.
yeah.
It's the same.
I'm not crazy.
It is the same.
Oh my god.
Whose house is this?
That is like that's like the greatest high I've had. What does the couch look like that they're sitting on? It's the same couch. It's the same couch.
They probably.
I'm not crazy.
It's the same chair too. You can see the pattern right here.
No, that it's the one that's next to it. The one that Leo's or the one that Shunto's on is a different chair with the blanket, but the one that Sota's on is the chair.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see this now.
I'm so vindicated.
That's funny as fuck. This city thing that they've got with the blocks and all that shit, this is definitely giving Boom Boom back.
Yeah, it reminds me of just like a tiny Boom Boom back set made out of blocks.
They're like, Boom Boom back, but let's make it toys.
Yeah.
We are back from our second watch through, and we did miss a couple things that we kind of freaked out about. But let's
sure we're gonna insert the first freak out, but let's go in order.
So the jukebox, we did confirm that I'm assuming it was Junon because he was the one that was like scrolling. Did the 11-3 for their debut. And then we were seeing more and more choreography that was being recycled or like used again. Very tastefully, might I add.
Oh, of course. Very subtly, so subtly to the point where there's probably so much more of it that I just can't clock because it's not like at the forefront of my brain and it fits in with everything so well. So
yeah. Um, and then something that I noticed that I was super excited about was when they're walking through the awards, you can see some like master plan, mainstream like stuff. And a lot of the awards we were trying to figure out, a lot of the awards look like they're older, so like dated like the 90s ish. Um, but we do still think that it's supposed to like reference how many awards that they've gotten thus far. Just another, like tie into this being part of the best album, the best of
Hmm.
album that this song is on. So that was really cool. I was like, wait a second.
Wait a second.
Wait a damn
Trophies.
minute.
It would be really cool if one of them is like, or like there has like secret trophies in there that are their actual like awards that they've gotten, but I don't know.
There
I
were
don't
a
know what any
couple
of them
of
look like, so.
like glass looking ones that I was like, okay, maybe that
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah. If you know, put it in the
Yeah,
comments.
if you recognize any of those trophies as like ones that they've actually won, please let us know.
Yeah. Otherwise, just a sick reference because
Exactly.
they get a lot of awards,
Yeah, because they're
as they
great.
should.
Because they're the best.
Yup.
Okay, and then the next thing I have written down is what you were able to figure out. So,
Yeah. Well, I touched on it before when during like after our first watch through that I thought like, oh, this looks like the first Christmas set. It literally is the
it's the
same
same
house
house.
in First Christmas. We went to check and we were like, no, it's a different house. And then it changed the angle and I saw the windows and the couch and I'm like, it's the same set. It's the same set and I'm a genius. I have I have it stuck in my brain.
Yeah, the
But
two
yeah, that's
windows gave it
crazy.
away. The big window and then the little window. This one has the AC unit in there, and then like the first Christmas one was covered by the blinds, but it's the same. It's exactly the
Yeah, and
same.
they have the same like orangey coral pinky red blinds on the big window.
Hmm.
The couch is the same couch. The armchair is just switched to the other side. It's the same set. It's the same set.
Yeah, they just threw
I
another
should
chair in
live
there.
there. Tay, let's move in.
We can split rent.
Yeah, exactly.
um, and then did you want to talk about Yuhei?
Oh yeah. Well, first, before the
Mm-hmm.
Yuhei part, I really liked the part where they were doing like the flashbacks and they were like it was like the space hyperspace type of and there was like little 3D models of like references to there was like mainstream drones
Yeah,
and other such things like that. I loved what it was way too fast and I didn't catch all of them, but I love stuff like that.
we
That was
could have
really
a whole
cute.
video about that part right there.
Oh, probably just trying to figure out what every reference is.
Um,
Um
and then
yeah.
when they were all dancing together with like the shipping containers, like the big things,
Oh yeah,
and they had
yeah.
all the clothes up there. That was really cool.
Flying away.
Yep.
Some of them were like outfit references and stuff like that. That's really cool. So many references, too many references to even count. But yeah, I was gonna say we were talking a little bit before about how good the pronunciation was. It was Ryuhei's pronunciation on "spare me of this cause." When I heard that, I was like, "Hey, who is that guy? How did he do that?" Because it sounds wonderful. It sounds beautiful, and it's just like a tiny little line, but man, he sold it.
On the branch of things sounding nice, Junon when he's delivering the give me back whatever the hell, when he does that thing that we're used to Shunto
A
doing.
growl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I knew it was him. Like when I listened to the song,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's Junon. But there's something about watching the music video where I'm like, oh my
Oh my god, it's
god.
Junon. Yeah, he usually doesn't do stuff like that.
No, and it sounds so good. Do it more, King.
Yeah. Yeah, they've really been, like pushing themselves to diversify a little bit vocally, to like change, not just stay stagnant in the way that they sing, to like develop new techniques and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love to see it.
I love seeing them level up. That's basically what they've been doing this whole year. They've had a really tough year, but it's been a year full of like growth for them.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like as a group, like their dynamics as like a group going from 7 to 6, but like professionally, like in their personal like careers as musicians. They have leveled up
Yeah.
so much this year, and I feel like this music video really does a good job of like showing that.
Yeah, Soto said that the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson were the reason why he started dancing at all. So, like, that's crazy.
Didn't Monato say
Huge.
that Jackson 5 were why he wanted to be a performer or singer or something like that too?
Something like that. Yeah. So I love it. And I mean, Be First was intended to be a 5-member group specifically as I thought as homage to the Jackson 5. But then obviously the first happened and Sky High had a brain blast and was like, I can't cut 2 more people out of this.
too many good guys. Too many good guys.
Yeah.
Had to make it 7.
Yep. Man. Oh, and then the last thing I have to say is just shout out again to the 3D modelers and the VFX team.
It's so
because,
fun.
Like, I know doing 3D scans like that is not necessarily easy, but it was probably just, if I know anything, which I don't, it's probably just like a 3D camera, and then they either recorded them all together in those formations, or they recorded each one of them and then put them in the space like that, like in a VFX, like a 3D setting. I don't know. Regardless, it looks great. It looks awesome. I love stuff like that.
I would actually be super interested when they do effects like this for music videos, in them posting videos of like how they do the effects. That would be super interesting.
I would love behind the scenes.
I don't know if a lot of other people would agree, but at least Sid and I would be super interested. And I know other people in the server, but we're also like a relatively small group when it comes to fans of the company. So, I mean, about the music specifically, I mean,
there's not much that we can say.
Yeah, I mean, it's
too much about the music.
I think we've covered like the differences between the original and their version pretty well. They've kept obviously like the most iconic parts of the song, and then they added some, rap in Japanese. They did add some Japanese lines like that were just being sung. Vocals. So that was cool too. So it wasn't all just like original English. Original English singing and then like Japanese rap. It was like there was some thought put into it, which thank you.
Yeah, chef's kiss. It's so good.
Thank you for...
I have a reason to listen to this song again all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for putting effort into this cover. So, the dance practice. I'm excited. I'm sure they've got the multiple audios.
Double audio. Yep,
they do. All right, so we will do the original first and then the descriptive next, like usual. And we're just gonna go. 3, 2, 1, click. Oh, I already know the descriptive is gonna be really fun.
Their little smiles. Okay, footwork.
Does that say I love New York?
Yeah, it does. I love it too. Oh, yeah, and Monato's wearing a Yankees hat.
Oh, they're so cute, dude.
Oh, and Leo's wearing his
yeah, I just saw that too.
Baseball jersey. I like this outfit on Kite.
Oh, they're having so much fun. I'm gonna cry.
Ryuhei looks Canadian in this video.
Juno looks really good, dude. I also love his pants. I want those.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice the pattern on the side.
Oh.
If Sophie doesn't take the tag off of that hat, I'm gonna rip it off.
arms. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, they did the Michael Jackson move. They probably did that in the MV and I just didn't notice.
Yeah, there's lots of little like Michael references in the choreo.
Forget what happened there. Oh, I'll never get oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Spare me all this cause.
Scare me. This isn't so good.
I was like to let you go, but now since I see you is love. One time for your mind, bring it back, 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 back. I want you back, yeah, two time, let's rewind. Bring it back, 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 back. I want you back.
They're so cute.
Oh my god.
I love that.
Me too. They're so cute.
We loved
I
you
love
in New
you
York
first.
too.
Yeah. Can't believe Monito's wearing a Yankees hat. Ugh.
It's
the
okay, he doesn't know.
Yankees.
It's
I
okay, he doesn't know.
Doesn't know.
He doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know.
Leo didn't
He
tell
just
him, I
likes
guess.
New York. I hate the Yankees. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I got into baseball. So,
Developments.
great. Changes in my life.
The only Canadian team in the MLB made it to World Series and said was like, actually, I have to lock in.
Actually, I'm so in. And now I will be in because I'm in love with the team. Love you, Toronto Blue Jays. Anyway, let's talk about B first. My
Oh
goodness.
my goodness.
I couldn't even catch the choreo references this time either. I was just having fun
Yeah.
watching them.
I
wasn't watching it analytically at all. I was
No.
just like smiling and
Yeah,
having a good
they were
time.
just having so much fun that I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm having fun too. I'm not paying attention to any technicalities or anything like that.
And honestly, I think that's fine. We talked about the choreo enough in the actual video, so
Yeah,
the music
maybe
video,
we'll
I
catch
should say.
something when we do the different audio, but I have a feeling that we're just gonna have fun again.
Yeah, because they're gonna be yelling.
Yeah, so it just starts
Man.
immediately.
Yeah, as usual. Bro is loud as hell.
Typical for him.
Exactly.
Okay, now we're doing the descriptive audio. 3, 2, 1, click.
They said we gotta be happy. I love this choreo. But I've never had a problem with choreography before, so.
Real.
This whole time I've been trying to figure out if Yuhei's hat is also a different baseball team, but I can't tell. It looks like the Padres.
Yeah, I think it's the Padres.
Doesn't matter. Great.
I was trying to figure out Junon's too.
Yeah, so was I. I don't think it's a brand. All the hats are too small for me to actually see. Me getting uncomfortable.
I was gonna say, I think if Junon's is a baseball team, it's the Sox.
Could be, and Leo's could be one too, but like I said, I can't see it.
If they're all wearing baseball hats except for Shunto.
Oh, actually, I think it might be the Tigers, Yuhei's. Either that or
okay.
we don't need to be talking about the baseball teams on the hats. This is my fault. I love Monato's strange patchwork shirt.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It's like 8 shirts put together. Ugh. It's so fun.
Who started singing?
Monato? I couldn't tell. I wasn't paying attention.
So cute.
The
Okay.
tag on Sota's hat is gonna drive me crazy.
Okay, so I again got lost in just watching them have fun, and then us also talking about their fucking hats. But I did notice that, and I'm sure this is something that we're gonna notice in future videos, especially now that it's confirmed that they're gonna just be 6 going forward. I lost the word for it.
Formations?
Yes, the formations are super interesting. So in the very beginning, the way that they had it was it was like they had 5 in like a V, and then there was one person like on the left side that was part of like a trio V. Like it could be a trio V, and then they flipped. So it was Junon and then Sota. Sota was on the right side and Junon was on the left side. So that was really interesting, seeing that, because it's like if they had a 7th member, then it would be even or like balanced.
It would just fill that slot. Yeah.
But instead of doing that, they just had on one side uneven, on the other side uneven for equal parts. So
yeah, I really enjoy. I know a lot of people say like formations are better with odd numbers because you can always have someone in the middle. But I like the creativity that comes out of even numbered formations. I think I've probably talked about this in a Mazel video at some point, but I just find it more fun for the eye to watch even numbered formations because they're either perfectly mirrored or they're like off center somehow. I think it makes it more textured. I like it.
Yeah, and I think they do a good job of like there was a little bit where Leo was directly behind Yuhei for some reason, but they do a pretty good job of not doing that.
Yeah, not hiding someone. Unless, sometimes hiding people is
intentional
the goal in a choreography, but usually not. Nopo did a really good job of like mixing choreo that feels like B first and choreo that feels like the Jackson 5. Like it's very much like it's not like B first wearing the Jackson 5 like as a costume. It's like this is like very much a good melding of their style because like it's not totally out of their wheelhouse to dance like this, right? Like there's obviously less, popping and like less like animation or whatever in this choreo, but it's still very B first while staying true to like what the song sounds like and what the choreo for a song like this should look like. Yeah, I think that's why I can't like really pick anything out in specific.
I think it very much reminds me again of Boom Boom Back, because in Boom Boom Back there was a lot less popping than usual. Like I know Sota had a couple moments where it was just him dancing where he was doing some popping, but for the most part it was like not much at all. I've also noticed with Monato, especially this year, he's become a much more fluid dancer. Like very, very fluid, like, Junon levels of fluid. And I've loved seeing it, and I saw a lot of it during this dance practice. Like when he was moving, like to get into his new spot for the new formation, it was like his body was rolling, and I was like, damn, okay.
Okay, fluid.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Loving it. He looks so good.
Us talking about them leveling up in their vocals in the music video, but also leveling up in their dance.
Oh yeah.
We're probably just gonna keep talking about it forever, but
yeah, I think we talked a lot about
Hey.
it in Stare and Wonder. Their dancing specifically.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I am, in fact, more excited about the future of Be First right now than I was like 5 months ago.
Oh, same. I'm like so excited. I cannot wait for the next release. Like I know Best just came out, but I can't wait for the first like post Best release.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
I also think that, like, I'm not sure about all of the songs that are like newer, but I think a lot of them were written with 7 people in mind, and so I think this next release is going to be written with like just 6 in mind, and I'm really excited to see like what differences, if any, we can see, or if they were able to like field going from 7 to 6 with these newer releases, you know, just as well
100%.
as if they were written for 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Very exciting.
Oh my god, I love Be First. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today. It was very fun. It was such a fun release. I know that you guys have been wanting this video for a while. A few of you were commenting even before we got Stare and Wonder out.
Yep.
So I'm glad that we were finally able to get this done, because it's, you know, with our schedules being the way that it is, it's harder for us to get together, record. But when we do, we try to make it fun. And it helps when the music is fun, which Be First is always releasing fun music.
It helps us to want to record when we're really excited about a song. Like it's actually been like kind of hard for us because we couldn't find a time, or one of us was sick and then the other one was sick, and it was like we really want to record I Want You Back, but it just wasn't lining up. So man, they keep us excited, but that's good.
They sure do. All right. A little bit of a quick ending because I've got stuff to do and so does Sid. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment anything, literally anything at all. We don't care. We like reading your comments. But if you want direction, give us something that you want to see really bad that we haven't done yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody in the company.
Yeah, truly. Anybody in the company. The likes and comments and all that stuff also boost us to the algorithm. It lets people know that like we're here, we're recording videos about Be First, if you know people are interested, especially international fans who are interested in getting into J-pop. I feel like it helps when other international fans are already making stuff and we're talking about stuff that, you know, maybe that new fans don't know about. So that's one thing. Other than that, we will see you guys when we see you. Not sure what the next video is going to be. Might be a soloist. Might be a soloist. We've been talking about it for a very long time, but we're getting closer and closer to catching up on the group stuff. We need to do Starglow too. Holy crap. We haven't done anything from Starglow.
They're just putting out too much music.
There's too much content. There's too much content.
And starting next year, I'm going to be in school, man. Let's go. We're not going to have any time.
God.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, thank y'all for everything all the time. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.